During the recent Steam sale, one game kept popping up as a suggestion for me. I hadn't heard much about this game. I honestly knew nothing about the gameplay itself, but it kept catching my eye. So on the last day of the Steam sale, I bought it on a whim, and I'm so glad I did. Dave the Diver is a game where you run a sushi bar, diving to catch fish every day to serve in the restaurant. You're catching fish in an area that changes every time you dive, with fish from all around the world showing up. And as you get deeper into this area, you discover more and more secrets about this mysterious fishing place. The Steam page describes Dave the Diver as an adventure RPG management hybrid, and I think that is probably the best way to describe it. You need to manage the sushi restaurant, keeping up with the stock, the busyness of customer service, and managing your staff. But then you're also diving into the deep waters, encountering large sea monsters and people to battle, and even gaining the trust of a community of sea people deep underwater. I think what surprised me the most about Dave the Diver is that there is so much more in the game than I expected. I'm 14 hours in now, and I feel like I'm only just touching the surface of what's in the game. I'm also finding that I'll sit down to play for 30 minutes and somehow lose a few hours into it. It's that good. The story itself is broken up into 7 chapters, with new characters and challenges within each of these chapters. I'm at chapter 3 and I'm still unlocking new capabilities like farming and fish breeding. And I'm glad these things are introduced slowly to the game. While Dave the Diver isn't super hard to learn, there are times that I got a little overwhelmed or forgot about things like making sure I had enough air to get to the surface while diving. So things being introduced slowly definitely helps with this. I really adore the characters within Dave the Diver. Each character is special in its own way and has a real, unique personality. The characters closest to you, like Buncho the chef, are given their own rich backstory, and these complex, fun characters add so much to the depth of the game. And because every character is so unique and special in its own way, I haven't been able to pick a favourite quite yet, but I do have quite a few that I really like. A great example of this is there is a character who gives you like the fish version of a Pokedex, and he is so clearly meant to be like the Ash Ketchum of Dave the Diver. He is just so funny. At first I was a little suspicious, and then I got what he was doing, and it was so obvious what it was, and I love it. I will say that there is a little bit of fat shaming of Dave within the game from some of the other characters, as he has what's not considered the standard diving figure, but I kinda love that he looks how you wouldn't expect him to. There is also variety within the different challenges and bosses you face within the game. There are dolphins you have to rescue, VIP clients who request special dishes, and even pirates and protesters that you encounter. They're often not what you would expect too, like this super buff dude who is a little too passionate about saving the environment. Occasionally getting so passionate about it that he'll accidentally destroy parts of the environment around him when he's trying to attack other people because they're not as passionate as him. It's so funny. I was a little scared when it came to running the actual restaurant each evening, as I thought it might be a little bit like Overcooked, rushing around and grabbing ingredients and serving them. Nothing against Overcooked, but it's just a little too stressful for me. But thankfully, while things can get stressful and super busy in the restaurant at times, it's not overly complicated and more just about getting dishes and drinks out to the customers on time. Hiring staff helps a lot too. They're unlocked via a mission where you have to catch a shark for a VIP recruiter who requests a dish with a shark's head in it. My only tip is to complete this mission as soon as you can. I took far too long to do it, and I think I made things more stressful for myself at the time than they needed to be because I didn't do it straight away. And as for the diving side of things, I think that's probably my favourite part of the game. Swimming around looking for new fish, upgrading your weapons and diving gear, and finding the right fish for events is so much fun. It can be a little intense at times trying to keep your oxygen levels up and catching predatory fish like some of the jellyfish and sharks, but overall the dives are surprisingly relaxing. I think part of this has to be the amazing soundtrack for the game. They've managed to pair the perfect music for every scene, and the diving music is no exception. It's great music, it's peaceful and not too distracting, and it changes the deeper you go in the water. Even the menu music is so good and hooked me in, pun not intended. The first time that I opened the game, it's just so good. I've put some of the music from the game in the background of this video so you can hear how amazing it is. The game itself ran really smoothly on my computer. There were no glitches, bugs or issues at all. It's been a really long time since I last experienced a game with this few issues at release, so I'm really happy with that. The art style is so great as well, and it's perfect for this game. I played Dave the Diver with an Xbox controller and it worked so well. The controls make sense, it has on-screen guides for the buttons, and they're intuitively mapped out, which is great. If the mapping of the buttons makes sense to me, then I'm sure that it makes sense to others, because I find it really hard sometimes to figure out controls. I haven't tried playing Dave the Diver with the mouse and keyboard yet, but that's purely because I had no need to. It works that good with the controller that I was happy the whole time. Dave the Diver is available on Steam for both PC and Mac, and according to the Mint Rocket website, there are plans to bring it to the Nintendo Switch by the end of 2023. It's $28.99 in New Zealand and $19.99 in the US. With everything that's included in the game, and the amount of game time I see myself getting from it, it's definitely value for money. I think Dave the Diver might now be at the top of my list of new games in 2023. That's a huge thing to say. There have been a few releases so far this year that I've really loved, but honestly it's such a gem with so much going for it that it's going to be hard to beat. Did you get any gems in the Steam sale? Tell me about them in the comments as I'd love to hear about them. And do like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks so much for watching and stay fresh, cheese bags. Bye!